Hello, this is 6 Minute English from BBC Learning English. I'm Liu.
And I'm Sam.
Go to shopping with a credit card, finding love food, internet dating, and waiting for the traffic lights to change have in common.
They all involve computers.
Good exam, but how exactly do those computers work? The answer is that they all use algorithms, sets of mathematical instructions which find solutions to problems.
Although they are often hidden, algorithms are all around us. From mobile phone maps to home delivery pizza, they play a big part of modern life, and they are the topic of this program.
A simple thing to think of algorithms is as recipes to make pancakes. You mix flour, eggs, and milk, and and melt batter, batter buttons in a frying pan, and so on. Computers do this in more complicated way by repeating mathematical equation over and over again.
Equations are mathematical sentences showing how two things are equal. They are similar to algorithms, and the most famous scientific equation of all, Einstein's E equal to mc squared, can be thought of as a three-part algorithm.
But before my brain gets squeezed by all this mess, I have a quick question for you, Sam. As you know, Einstein's famous equation is g squared mc squared, but what does the E stand for? Is it A, electro, e, electricity, B, energy, or C, everything?
I'm tempted to say E is for everything, but I reckon I know the answer is B. E stands for energy.
Okay, then we will find out with you right later in the program.
With all this, Before this talk of computers, you might think algorithms are new idea. In fact, they have been around since Babylonian times, around 4,000 years ago.
And their use today can be controversial. Some algorithms used in internet search engines have been accused of racial pan- pangical, prejudice.
Ramesh Srinivasan is professor of information studies at the University of California. Here's what he said when asked what the word algorithm actually means by BBC World Service Program. The following. My understanding of the term algorithm is that it is not necessarily the boogeyman, or it's not necessarily something that is, you know, inscrutable or mysterious to all people. It's the set of instructions that you write in some mathematical form or in some software code. So it's the repeat set of instructions that are sequenced, that are used and applied to answer a question or resolve a problem. It's as simple as that actually. Something that algorithms have been controversial, but Professor Srinivasan says they are not necessarily the boogeyman. The boogeyman refers to something people call bad or evil to make other people afraid.
Professor Sylvester thinks algorithms are another evil. Long, long is just about not showing emotions or thoughts and therefore very difficult to understand.
Still, it can be difficult to understand exactly what algorithms are. especially when there are many different types of them. So let's take an example.
It's autumn and we want to collect all the apples from our orchards and divide them into three groups: big, medium, and small. One method, method is to collect all the apples together and compare their size.
But doing this would take hours. It's much easier to first collect the apples from only one tree, divide those into big, medium, or small, and then repeat the process for the other trees one by one.
That's basically what algorithms do. They find the most efficient way to get things done, or in other words, get the best results in the quickest time.
Mathematics professor Ian Stewart agrees. Listen as he explains how the algorithm called Bubble Sort works to BBC World Service program, the following.
Think of when your computer is sorting emails by data and maybe you have got 500 emails and it sorts them by data in a batch. How now it does not use bubble sort but does use a sorting method, and if you tried to do that by hand it would take you a very long time. Whatever method you use, Hoover described how uh, of how algorithm algorithm source emails to source is a word meaning to group together things which shares similarities.
Just like grouping the apples by size, sorting hundreds of emails by hand would take a long time, but using algorithms, computers to do it in a flash, very quickly or suddenly.
The face in effect remind me of how Algo sentence came up with his famous equation E squared E equal MC squared.
And that reminds me of your quiz question. You asked about the E in E equal to mc squared. I said it stands for energy. So was I right?
Energy is the correct answer. Energy equal M for mass multiplied by the frequency, which is the speed of light squared.
Okay, let's recap the vocabulary from this program, starting with equation. A mathematical statements using symbols to show two equal things.
If something is called a bogeyman, is something considered bad and to be feared.
Inscrutable people don't show their emotions, so are very difficult to get to know.
Effi- Efficient means working quickly and effectively in an organized way.
The verb to short meanings to group together things which share similarities.
And finally, when something happens in a flash, it happens quickly or suddenly.
That's all the time we have to discuss algorithms, and if you are still not 100% sure about exactly what they are, we hope at least you have learned some useful vocabulary.
Join us again soon for more telling topics, sensationally scientists, and useful vocabulary. Here at 6 Minute English from BBC Learning English. Bye for now.
Goodbye.